Hello, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which is a teardown video of two items one of which I regularly strip down for steampunk bits, the other one I've never done before, so we'll see together what's in that. The first item will be a floppy disk drive, and I know this has useful bits inside for making things. The second item is going to be this, which is a 1980's, I'm going to call it mega chonker hard drive because it's about twice the thickness of a normal hard disk. It's an MFM, I think, connector on the back. It's not anything standard anymore, so that's one item, and the floppy drive is the other item. So we'll start with the floppy drive. So tools we're going to need is a screwdriver bit set with Torx bits in, a hammer and some old screwdrivers for busting open casings. So the first thing I would always do is take out all visible screws. That one actually came apart easier than some. And again, each layer we're just taking out every screw we can see. Also going to need a couple of sets of pliers apparently. Another thing you'll have to do is to start disconnecting any springs like that one. That might allow that to come out. Doesn't look like it is going to. Let's try that spring off as well. There we go. Now we still haven't actually got to the treasure that's in these, which is this motor here, this stepper motor. And you'll see, sometimes you just have to break things out, especially if things you're not wanting this to be functional afterwards. Definitely has to come off. Now, I could mess about for ages trying to undo that screw, but I'm going to show you an easier way. So this is the treasure inside floppy disk drives. It is this little ring of coils which is screwed down apparently on this one. So I've got more screws to undo. Normally they're just attached by soldered wires. So that is the treasure in old floppy disk drives, and as you can imagine that is going to be very nice for, say, a pair of goggles or part of anything really. It's just a nice little ring of coils. Other bits I'll probably keep out of this one. I'll probably keep that purely because it's nice to keep this in, keeps it out safe. That's an interesting little sort of piece. This is 100% rubbish. I will just take this final electrical component off purely so this can go in the steel recycling. I might just use brute force to take that off and flip that. So those I'm just going to chuck in, and those I'm just going to chuck in the steel recycling. That'll go in the bin. Little bit of steel rod, useful. That little motor has like a little brass shaft on it, so I'll probably keep that. All these screws and bits will just go in the bin. That might be useful. Little bracket things like this are useful, and so are little tiny springs. But the rest of this, that's a bit for my screwdriver, that might be useful as well. The rest of this is just going to go in the bin. So I'll just pause this while I clear up and then we'll start on the hard disk. Right, back again. So now we're onto this hard disk. Again, principle's the same. You start off with just take out every screw you can see. So these obviously just hold these side bits of racking on. So we'll take those off to start with. This looks like it's mostly Torx type screws on this one, but we'll take all these. Well, that just holds that little terminal on apparently. Yep. Oh no, those don't come off yet. But we will take these Torx ones out. I suspect these are what needs to come out next, but I do not know for sure. As I say, I've never done one of these big old hard disks in the past. Now, if you're wondering why I'm scrapping this rather than, say, looking at whether anybody wants it for retro gaming, it is marked on the top of this disc, which I'll just show you in a minute once I've taken this last screw out. Just there on the top that this has a number of bad sectors, so nobody is going to want this. This has got defects on it. And it looks like we've got to take the board off the bottom. Being held by some connectors somewhere. Question is where? Just there on that side. This is quite a different construction to modern hard disks that I've done quite a few of, and it's also absolutely filthy by the looks of things. What's holding this in place? Some sort of ribbon connector on that side. Is it on a plug? Yes, it is on a plug. I think. Is that a plug? Yes, it is a plug. All of these are on plugs as well. This is obviously a lot better built than any other hard disk I've ever taken apart. Most of them are really just junk. This was all on anti-vibration mounts as well on that chassis. But interesting that this is actually made by a completely different company, even though it says Western Digital on the outside. So, that's the controller board off. The question is how do we get in any further? Well, this motor obviously comes off with standard screws, standard posi drives, and whatever that is comes off as well, which looks like some sort of position sensor, which is something you definitely don't see like this on modern discs. And it's also soldered in as well, of course. Yes, this is a lot better built than anything I've ever taken apart in the hard disk line before. I'll have to get a different screwdriver here. Unless that bit'll do it. Ooh. No, a different driver here. There we go. Still not really wanting to move. What if these have been locked? Nope, yeah, I'm not wanting to come out. Okay, I'm not about to drill those. Looks like this top is held on with clips underneath this sticker. Yes, I'm right. Okay. Warranty void if removed. I'm pretty sure the warranty is going to be void on this thing anyway, seeing as it's probably around 30 years old. Okay. One left, hopefully we can. Now this is a lot nicer built than most of the modern ones I've dismantled. That is very, very nicely made. It's got a linear track on the head rather than a swing arm. That's some sort of moisture absorption thing. Right, let's see what of this we can salvage. Still use the same size Torx screws as they always have done. Just for information for anyone who does this, if you do dismantle a hard drive to this level, there is no way to ever make it work again. As soon as you open it and allow air in, that is pretty much game over. So these are the actual hard drive planars that store the data. And then in here we have a big stepper motor in the bottom, and we have a little stepper motor on the side, which is the thing that doesn't want to move. I'm going to try and take this bottom motor out. That. Now, decide if I want to break this open, because I think this has got the same sort of coil arrangement that we saw in the floppy drive. Question is how's it held together? Is it just a pressure fit? I suspect it is. What's that? No, it's not. A very nicely made thing. Yes, this does have some big coils inside it, if I can get it open. Right, now when I said this was better made than most modern hard disks, yeah, well, it is, and to an extreme level where this withstood drilling, smacking with a hammer and levering with a screwdriver. What I did eventually recover from it is this, which is another ring of coils, quite a nice ring of coils. Again, I'm going to keep the steel surround just to keep it in, and to continue trying to break this thing down further. Not with that, I'm not. No, that is not coming apart. It's actually hex. Interesting. Put hexes inside these. Not that one, it's not. Nope. Must be that one. Well, there are components still left on here. Yeah, that does come off, whatever it is, some sort of, I'm going to guess Hall effect sensor, but I could be wrong. That big stepper motor off if I can. Problem is somebody has put some sort of potting compound or something like that into the screws. So I'm going to guess that's never going to move. And there we go, when I said how old this was, 1988, it's printed on the bottom of the motor. So this thing is actually older than me. I kind of want to get that stepper motor out because it looks like a nice, good stepper motor. Let's see what we can do. We can break them this way. Yes, we can. And out comes the stepper motor. Now this I am going to retain all the washers and the nuts for, because this may well find a use in a project. It is quite a good stepper motor, this one. Assuming it works, I'll have to build some sort of circuit to test that, but that is a obviously very high quality stepper motor. Fully being kept, as will the little track here. It's a very fine little toothed guide rail. So yes, that's some sort of seal. Keep that as well. Yes, that was an odd one. I thought there might be more in this. I thought definitely thought there'd be more platters to the hard disk part of it, but yeah, interesting. Having torn down a few modern ones, how different that was. So, hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, etc. Now, to me, the bits that are of use out the hard disk, of course, I mean, that's not for Steampunk really, that's for general electronics use. These little bits of turned aluminium and these read-write heads look kind of cool to use for something. That Hall effect sensor I'll keep as well, assuming that's what it is. Right, thank you very much. See you soon.